Today's story takes us deep into the heart of St. Louis, Missouri, where a man once feared by his entire neighborhood walked into a federal courtroom expecting nothing, but he walked out a completely different person. This is the story of Martin Hayes, a violent offender sentenced to 329 years in federal prison, and the shocking moment that broke his hardened heart. Stay with me, this is one story you will never forget. Martin wasn't always a monster. Growing up in North St. Louis, he was the kid who helped old ladies carry groceries. The kid who dreamed of playing basketball professionally. But life, poverty, and terrible influences slowly dragged him into darkness. At 16, he joined a violent gang. At 18, he carried his first gun, and by 32, he had become the leader of one of the most feared street crews in the city: robberies, assaults, shootouts. His criminal record read like a horror script. The FBI built a case on him for 13 years, gathering every crime, every witness, every violent act. And then, they caught him. On a cold Monday morning, the courtroom was packed. Families of victims, police officers, journalists, everyone waiting to see justice be served. Martin walked in wearing a prison jumpsuit, chains on his wrists and ankles. His face was cold and moved, emotionless. The judge began reading the charges: armed robbery, attempted murder, human endangerment, racketeering, illegal weapons trafficking, multiple assaults. Count after count after count, until finally, the court sentences you to 329 years in federal prison. The room gasped. But Martin, he didn't blink, not a tear, not a single sign of remorse. He just stood there like a stone. Then something strange happened. As the judge finished reading, she looked directly at Martin, not with anger, not with hatred, but with sadness. Martin frowned. That look, that face, those eyes. Something felt familiar. He squinted, studying the judge's expression closely, and then, like lightning striking his soul, he remembered. No way, he whispered. The judge noticed his confusion. She removed her glasses, leaned forward, and said softly, "Martin, do you remember me?" His entire body froze. The courtroom went silent. And then the judge said the words that shattered him: "Martin, it's me, Angela, from Beaumont High School." Suddenly, memories flooded his mind. They were lab partners in chemistry. They studied together for math competitions. She encouraged him to stay out of trouble. She told him he was smart. She told him he could be somebody. Martin wasn't always violent. He wasn't always lost. There was a time he had hope. And she was one of the few people who believed in him. Back in high school, Angela used to say, "You're better than this neighborhood, Martin. Don't let it swallow you." But he didn't listen, and she went on to finish college, law school, and eventually became the judge presiding over the same courtroom where he now stood in chains. The cold, fearless, violent man everyone feared collapsed. Tears poured down his face uncontrollably. His legs shook. He grabbed the railing for support. Through sobs, he whispered, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I wasted my life." The courtroom watched in shock because this wasn't a criminal crying over his sentence. This was a man crying over who he used to be. The judge's voice trembled as she spoke. "Martin, you were a good person back then. What changed you into this?" He couldn't even answer. He broke down completely before the guards took him away. The judge said something he and everyone watching would never forget: "Martin, punishment is the law, but regret is the beginning of change. Let today be the start of your redemption." Even with 329 years ahead of him, her words gave him something he never expected: a small spark of hope. Life can change with one choice, one wrong step, one moment of weakness. But no matter how far a person falls, regret can awaken the humanity buried deep inside us. Martin learned that too late, but you don't have to. Choose your path wisely. Choose your friends wisely. Choose your actions carefully. Because your future is built on every decision you make today. If you want more emotional, powerful, real-life inspired stories, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next inspirational story.